with a smile on your face.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Youth Morning Show right here at the Port Mall in Scarborough. It's on Tobago. So, guys, politics and with the youth is always something interesting. And this morning we'll be dipping into the political arena to discuss some politics and the youth. So, I want to introduce somebody who's no stranger to us here at Tobago Updates. So, Miss Second, good morning to you, and how are you doing?
I'm very fine this morning. Good morning, Luke. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, Miss Second. So, in politics and young people and the youth vote, it seems to play a very powerful force when it comes to making a political contribution.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell us a bit more about why you got into politics.
Oh, if we're going to look at why I got into politics, that would have begun way back when I was 7 years old in Prince Street.
Mm-hmm.
A.N.I. Robinson and his team would have been delivering one of those open-air speeches. And I remember we just walked out Prince Street Junction there, close to the jetty. I was with my mother, and I heard him. I don't remember what he was talking about, but it was so exciting for me. I remember tugging her skirt and saying, what is he? What is he doing? I want to do that. And she said, you mean a politician? He said, Tasha, no. Politicians have to talk too much for their money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I became a teacher, so I still talked a lot.
Still talk.
But politics and political activism, very, very critical, and it's very important for young people to get involved from early so that we have a sense of how to do good governance. You need to know how to do it. You need to know how to compete, how to work with a team, understand both sides of a debate, understand the arguments that are going around. And right now, as we are getting ready to discuss Tobago's autonomy, the people have to know, the young people have to be involved, the young people have to participate.
All right, thank you, Ms. Second. And the TPP, that is the newly formed party, they are rumored to be starting a youth arm to, just get those youths involved, to give them a seat at the table. So tell us a bit more about the youth arm.
Right. So what we're looking at doing is involving young persons from ages 15 to 35, that's the bracket that we define youth in Tobago, in the actual process of developing the party itself, participating in the structural development. So we are going to have a symposium in about 3 weeks' time, May the 28th, tentatively called for Shore Park Complex, where it's a mini symposium, 2 to 6. We're going to have a lot of panel discussions. We're going to look at youth in politics, youth in religion, youth in business. So we're going to do some financial literacy and so on. And hear the voices of the young people and have them showcase what they can do, what sort of entrepreneurial skills they have, what entertainment skills they have, because we're going to end it with a little talent segment. So that is ultimately what we're going to do to get them, jumpstart them in the activity. Our youth group members are going to actually meet next Wednesday to be part of that planning process. So each arm of the political party will help the party itself to be sustainable and will help persons to learn a bit more about the processes of democracy, because democracy isn't easy. It's a lovely word, but it's not an easy thing for everybody's voice to be heard and for everybody to contribute to a decision. So we are having that youth arm, and we're having young people heavily involved in the decision-making process.
Okay, great, Ms. Second. And other than that, what other benefits can a youth who would like to join this youth arm, what other benefits do we spoke about having a seat at the table, being a part of the decision-making process, and even having the opportunity to put an input into the structural organization of the entire party? What are some other benefits someone can get from this youth arm?
All right. Not just from a youth arm in politics. Young people who participate in anything that is structured and involves the building of a social institution can grow because they're integrated. What do I mean? There's more than one side to a story. So if our young people are able to articulate positions on a particular debate, they're able to appreciate the different perspectives, they're able to empathize with different groups of people, it will help them to stay away and to make better choices, stay away from criminal activity and to make better choices for themselves. We want young people who are making better choices so that we will have less negative social issues, which we find right now kind of elevating in our society. So we want them to learn how to debate. We want them to appreciate a good argument, not just accept something, an opinion as a fact. test issues and be involved in the process of reasoning and making decisions that are good for them and our society.
Okay, Ms. Second. And, you know, with all the benefits you get from political activism, I think we need to touch on some of the, you know, the cons of getting into political activism, especially as a young person, because here in Tobago, you know, Tobago is small, everybody knows everybody, and when you look at politics, there are oftentimes the youth who, no matter what political party they support, whenever that party may not be in power or is in power, they seem to be somewhat blacklisted, or, you know, people try to, everything they do will be branded is because there's a XYZ, you know, they just attach themselves to that political party. And young people, especially when you're young and ambitious, you know, sometimes you will feel discouraged to join a political party because you wouldn't want all that hard work that you've put into your career to just be, you know, overshadowed by getting into a political party. So to those youths that are facing that notion and that thought, what do you have to say to them? What advice you want to give to them?
The challenges and the risks will come. Every aspect of life has some kind of risk and some kind of difficulty, but you do have challenges. People do try to blacklist your entire family if your political party loses an election. And a number of parties are not sustainable because when they're out of power, they do not have access to resources at the same level as when you're in power. Dr. Vanus James is always talking about the democratization of Tobago and Tobago space, so that whether you're in power or you're out of power, his concept is that you'd be able to access resources. But in reality, a number of young people shy away from the politics because of that. However, I would encourage them to participate because it builds a certain grit and a certain resistance in you. And when you're involved in that really structured organization, you're fully trained, so you are prepared. You know how to set aside your resources. You know how to balance your life. You know how to network, so that whether your party is in power or out of power, you have value, you the person. And that is what we have to give to our young people. You as an individual, you grow and you learn so you can contribute in any scenario, whether your political party is in power or not.
Okay, great, Ms. Second. So with this youth, what are we to expect? I know this is something like that's going to be involving a lot of debates, a lot of discussion, a lot of panel discussions. Are we going to be seeing a lot of those things coming out of the youth arm?
This is what we anticipate. So training the young people is towards an end. We expect them to be the faces in the social media, on traditional media, going out there talking to people one-on-one on the ground. We expect them, once they are fully trained and they're fully exposed and they have the experience, we expect them to take the mantle and to move on with the processes. So you will see them in the mobilization groups, working with candidates, assemblymen, etc. You will see them on the media, convincing you to be part of a seminar or a retreat or what have you. And you will definitely see them practicing the art of debate, writing, public speaking. Those are the kinds of things that we want them to actually lead.
Okay, Ms. Second. So how can a youth register in the youth arm?
Right, so we can check online. We have a Facebook page, the Tobago People's Party page. You can go there, you can follow. On that page, you will find your online registration form. Beyond that, once you come to our youth meetings, you can register, and we will soon have our head office in Scarborough. So that will come out very soon. And you can physically walk in and be part of any activity.
All right. And is this youth arm limited to only youths that are supporters of the TPP party?
Every young person aged 15 to 35 can come and participate, particularly if we're going to have something like the mini symposium. You want to come and show your wares, show your talent, mingle, interact. We want you to come, everybody.
Okay. Ms. Second, anything else you would like to add about the youth arm?
Yes, well, about youth in general in Tobago, particularly with the crime, I think all social institutions should be paying particular attention to our young people right now. Yes. With all of these drive-bys and all of these domestic violence issues, we need to put programs in place that will assist our young people in integrating more in our society. All of the social institutions, church, NGO, everybody, pay a little bit more attention to our young people right now.
Yes, Ms. Second, because I think we are all seeing the rise in crime, especially with our young men. Or young men are getting into a lot of, they seem to be on the opposite side of the law.
Yes.
We see them getting shot, some getting killed. And it's really important for us to have that medium and that outlet for us youths to be a part of something that will probably keep us away from going on the opposite side of the law. So especially with our crime, how is the youth arm, or what do you think, how can the youth arm benefit Tobago in terms of controlling crime and keeping all young people on the right path?
The first thing it does is it gives them a voice so that we know what is happening in their minds, how they are interpreting life. We, the adults, tend to feel that we have explained what is taking place in their various living situations, whether it's education, church, whatever. We tell them what to do and they do it. But they have to interpret what we are doing, and they have to feel like they are actually part of it and involved. So we need them to tell us what they don't understand. We need them to tell us what is the problem, what is the challenge, and how we can help them better. The only way they can do that is if they actually have a genuine voice, a truly democratic and genuine voice. We assume a lot of things about young people. We assume that they want to study very hard and get A's. They want to have this particular type of job. Sometimes they don't want that type of job. Sometimes they're interested in something different. Sometimes they identify differently from how you want them to identify. And we have to give them the opportunity first to speak to us in a safe environment where they know they're not going to be ridiculed, they're going to be embraced, and their contribution will lead to some kind of positive outcome. They need to be truly integrated.
Right, Ms. Second, it sounds great, it sounds lovely. And I think another question I want to touch on, will we be seeing integration from other youth groups? You know, we have the TYC Youth Council. I think even if you look into politics, I think the PNM has a youth arm. Will we be seeing a merging or just that integration of pre-existing youth groups with the youth arm to really push that youth agenda?
Of course, because you may have a family that is, let's say, PNM, a family that has the daddy is PNM, the mommy likes the new TPP, and the daughter still prefers to be PDP, right? And everybody in that family still has to love and support each other. So every time we have an opportunity for any kind of event, seminar, fundraiser, what have you, all of the minds of Tobago would be welcome, and they can integrate, they can partner to deliver particular kinds of things. One of the guiding principles that I tend to follow is that we cannot succeed as a people if we do not collaborate. And this is a time of peace. We don't have an election in the morning, so we can work together.
We can work together, great. And regionally, because I think, especially in the year of youth, you know, we are celebrating Year of Youth in the Caribbean, in the Commonwealth. We are noticing and noting the importance of that inter-regional connections, you know, building that network and that relationship with our Caribbean islands and that Commonwealth cohesiveness. Will we be seeing in the youth group that at some point they will be going region-wide? We're going to be broadening their horizons and, you know, reaching out to all those other youths in politics within the Commonwealth?
Definitely. I don't know if you remember, I was always the teacher who was taking people on field trips.
On field trips,
we
yes.
start them off in a little Tobago one to get them acclimatized and know how to behave. Then we go to Trinidad, and we go St. Lucia, Bahamas, Barbados, whatever. Because I believe that we need greater exposure in the island, because the island is so small, and there's some people sometimes who never take a plane ride, they never went for their passport, etc. So that is all part of the empowerment. Definitely networking, definitely collaborating with your counterparts throughout the region, you know. Definitely on the agenda for us.
All right, Ms. Second. So just once again, remind our viewers and listeners how they can register, even for those who want to reach out to you personally to, you know, just get that one-on-one conversation. Let us know the resources. Right.
So I'm Ann Second. I am available at 474-2200. If you don't get me when you call, you just leave a message and I will get back to you. You can go on the Facebook Tobago People's Party's page. You can follow, you can like, and you can register online directly there. In a few days, we're going to have our office where you can physically walk in.
Okay, Ms. Second. So any final words before we wrap up?
Let us support our young people. Let us integrate our young people in everything that we do, every stage. Allow them to be part of the decision. No matter how young, explain things to them in a way that they could understand and involve them, allow them to be part of the decision-making process.
All right, Ms. Seckles, so I want to thank you for joining us here this morning on the Youth Morning Show. And it's always a pleasure to have you here sitting with us. And I really look forward to see what the youth has in store for us here in Tobago. So, viewers, that was Ms. Natasha second as we discussed the Tobago's People's Party Youth Arm. Don't go anywhere yet. We still have a lot in store for you. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live, and we'll be right back. And coming up, we have Mr. Kerry Celestine, assistant coach, and he will be speaking to us about the Tobago basketball champion. So that's what we have up next year. So don't go anywhere yet. Stick with us. And once again, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.